Uh, you know, I think I've proven to you, and God has proven to you through me, that love is much more than that 7-inch thing between your legs, or that 7-inch hole between your legs. And it doesn't live there. Love doesn't live there. Love is in your heart. Love is in your soul. When you fill that hole between your legs, you open a hole in your heart. When you don't do it with love, when it's lust, it just opens a hole in your heart that you cannot, that there is no 7-inch thing to fill. You know, you can do what you want, but you'll never fill that hole once you open that door and create that hole in your heart. Yeah. I loved you, and I showed you love, and I didn't do it for money. I didn't do it for so you can reciprocate it back to me. I put my life on the line so you could be free, so you could love the people you love freely and not for a price tag, and protect the people you love so they didn't have a price on their head. You shouldn't have to go to a store or a restaurant or a supermarket with your kids and think someone's sizing up your kids and think of how much money they can make with your kid. And all that comes with that. But this love is so deep, you know, it goes so deep. You know, I have a shirt that says, "Pain is love." And it is, you know. When you have sex, it hurts, but it feels good. You do it over and over. You know, and if you're in love with somebody, they hurt you. You know, when they talk to someone else, it hurts you. When someone else touches them, it hurts you. It's pretty much unavoidable. But doesn't make it right, though. I mean, look, if I'm in love with a woman, anybody can touch me, and it doesn't mean I love that woman any less. And I'm not talking sexual touch. I'm just talking touching my arm, touching my shoulder, and that's when you know you have the right partner. When they don't get jealous because someone touched your arm or shoulder. Because they're secure in themselves and they know that that's not a threat. You know, they don't perceive every touch as a threat, or every kiss or hug as a threat. You know, because when they do that, it means that person's sick. It means that person can't handle love. And the problem mainly is that they don't love themselves. And because they don't love themselves, you know, they probably did pick a partner that those things are a threat, because that partner is subpar, because the person, you who's insecure, is subpar. So you pick a subpar partner, and, you know, when someone touches that partner thinks, oh, maybe I can have a little on the side, you know, I can have a side piece, you know. And that's the kind of people you get when you're sick. And you're all sick. You are all sick. You came from the devil's world. You've been living in the devil's world for a very long time. And the devil made you sick on purpose. Because your sickness made him powerful. And that's why you see me and God. I'm not trying to make you sick. I'm trying to make you better. I'm trying to help you look at life differently, you know. I don't want to need a divorce attorney every time someone touches my wife. I don't want to need a divorce attorney because someone shook her hand, or kissed her on the cheek, or gave her a hug, or gave me a hug, or kissed me on the cheek, or hold my hand. You know, we're community beings. We're supposed to be in a community. We're supposed to be in contact with each other. And it shouldn't be a threat every time we are. You know, I've had girlfriends where I just look in the girl's direction and it started a fight. You know, and it's like, maybe I was looking at something in the window and the girl was in the way of that. And it didn't matter. I mean, it was perceived that I was checking out the girl. You know, and sometimes I was. You know, because I was sick too. Back then I was sick too, you know. I bought sunglasses. I spent $250 on a pair of sunglasses from the Sunglass Hut in the mall. And I didn't get 10 feet away from the sunglass hole, you know, the cubicle in the middle of the mall with the sunglasses, and my girlfriend's like, I can still see your eyes. I'm like, I just can't win. You know. And she was very sick. She was very sick. And I could tell you stories about that, and God put me through that for a reason, to see what that kind of sickness is. You know, it's one thing for me to tell you, it's another thing for you to experience it, you know. And if you're in that, there's really not much you can do for your partner if they're like that. That's just the way they are. They're very sick, and I don't know that you can fix them. You know, you can fix yourself. You can get away from them and find somebody who treats you fairly, trusts you, you know, and trusts you. And can trust you around other women, can trust you around, you know. Because look, we go to work and we're around other women. We go to parties and we're around other women. We go to the supermarket and we're around other women. There's no way of being not around other women, but, you know, if you're going to hit on every one of them and think of every one of them as a piece, you got a lot of problems. You really got a lot of problems, you know, and you really shouldn't be with anybody if that's the way you feel. You know, and maybe it'll take you finding the right person to make you want to fix that, you know. Because when you're with the right person, when you're in love and you're with the right person, you can't get it up for anybody else. You know, it just won't be right. And you'll find that out if you try to do anything with anybody else. You'll find out it don't work. I don't know. You know, but... And I'm not, you know, look, you have to date other women. You can't date just one woman and marry her. You have to date other women to get to the one that's yours, the one that's meant for you, and vice versa. The woman has to date other men. So... And sometimes we pick the wrong one, and sometimes the wrong one picks us. And sometimes we do it out of laziness, you know. It's like, she's here, she wants to be with me, I'll just marry her. You know, being lazy. You know, they're like, she's not the right one, and I gotta move on, you know. I gotta find the right one. And I'll tell you, being in a bad relationship is a lot worse than being by yourself. And hopefully, the problem too is we create children, and we end up stuck with this woman in our life for the rest of our lives. And the children, you know, look, if you don't love the mother before you make the child, you're not going to love the mother after the child is here, and you're not going to love the child either. So everybody suffers when you do that. And you suffer too, because you're in a loveless relationship. Be very careful. You know, love is very deep. It's not 7 inches long between your legs. It's in here, not down there. It's in here. It's in your heart. And if you follow your heart, it won't lead you astray. And look, not everybody we meet we're meant to be with for the rest of our lives. But that doesn't mean it can't be good for whatever time we're with them. So, you get that too.